This is the Sigma 35mm f1.4 lens. The Sigma 35mm f1.4 lens is a state-of-the-art lens designed for full-frame cameras, but can also be used with APS-C sensors as well. This lens is just one in a formidable spread of Sigma's art category, which includes new features based around a unique lens concept and design. 35mm is a very useful focal length in today's world of photography, and this example may become one of the most useful lenses in your arsenal. The lens weighs 665 grams, or about 1.5 pounds, and is very well constructed. However, paired with a heavy camera, it is definitely not easy on the arms, and will require a large gimbal if one's going to be used. The lens is equipped with Sigma's hypersonic motor floating internal focus system, with SLD and FLD glass elements. The HSM system promises a quiet, high-speed, accurate autofocus, while the floating focusing system allows for superior optical performance with subjects at a closer shooting distance. The lens is constructed of 13 elements in 11 groups, providing a 63.4-degree angle of view. The lens has 9 diaphragm bodies and boasts a minimum focal distance of 11.8 inches. The SLD and FLD glass elements help correct both axial and chromatic aberration, and with a maximum aperture of f1.4, this lens will perform well in low light and provide excellent depth of field. A maximum aperture of f16 allows for excellent focus in landscapes, or when the shot calls for everything to be crystal clear. The filter size is 67mm, and the lens is compatible with the Sigma USB dock and Optimization Pro software to adjust and fine-tune focusing parameters. But the burning question, will this lens provide you the smooth, creamy bokeh that you desire? So, as you can see, this lens is capable of producing some really great, really crisp shots. But there's one thing that we do need to talk about: the autofocus. If you're going to be using this professionally and you're going to do things where you're not just sitting down with the camera pointed at you on a tripod like it is right now, the autofocus is not great. I'll explain. It's easy to see as I pan from the sidewalk to the street that these new Sigma L-mount lenses aren't technically natively built for these cameras, so they react as if an adapter is being used, which coupled with the Panasonic S1's contrast-based and not stellar autofocus system gives questionable results. Panning from right to left towards moving objects, the lens once again struggles to find focus, jittering heavily before it locks in. In this shot, as I track the airplane across the sky, it's clear that in this situation its wide angle is a detriment as it fades in and out of focus. And as we pan back down towards the park, It starts to kind of fade in and out. It has a really hard time catching its bearings, going back and forth past where it's supposed to be. And I've used the Canon EF version and Sony versions of this lens, and we don't really have this problem. It's really just the L-mount system coupled with that contrast-based autofocus. It's just not doing it. At this point, the sun is setting, and we can see a big shift in lighting as we pan back and forth. And having set the camera on aperture priority, we see the lens cycle through f-stops. It's a very harsh transition, and it's almost like watching a built-in ND filter cycle through its different shades. With all that being said, it's clear that the low light capabilities of this lens is where it truly shines. Putting the camera back in manual mode and setting the aperture to 1.4, we can enjoy some truly mesmerizing low light shots, with no noise and very accurate color response. As you can see, my frame has changed. I'm now using the Sigma 35mm lens. Definitely a little bit closer in. I did move my tripod, kept it right where it was, just switched lens. I was using a 24mm before, so I am a little bit closer now. Now, the autofocus on this lens, it's not the best. It definitely takes a minute to get going. It's kind of squirrely. Not my favorite, as we saw so far. You're using it purely for a purpose where you're setting it up for video like I am right now. You won't really need to worry about the autofocus too much unless you're holding things up in front of the camera like this a lot, in which case, as you can see, it's not going to be beneficial for you. So, in conclusion, the Sigma f1.4 35mm lens, is it a good buy? Yeah, absolutely. For sub $1,000, it's a great lens. It's really crisp, really clear. You can do a lot of cool things with it. Just know that if you buy it, you're probably going to get mad at the autofocus all the time. And those of you who are going to be setting it on a tripod and doing basically what I'm doing now, you're going to be fine. Anything past that, it is going to be definitely a point of contention. But overall, for the money, definitely a win. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. It's down there. Hit the thing, do the thing, comment, make fun of me, whatever. It's all good. See you later.